What's up, gang? It's your boy Chris, back again with another game before 30. And it's been a couple weeks since I did the last one, and I told you guys I want to try to do this as a weekly thing. I wasn't able to do that. I've been quite busy the past couple weeks. I don't know if you see, I got boxes here I still need to unpack in my place. But anyway, I wanted to continue on with sharing some advice from people that I know. So today, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. This is another two for like the last video I did. So I'm going to jump right into a piece of advice one guy posted under a commented under the post. And I'm going to give a piece of advice that I also posted under the commented under the post. So this guy says from my friends list, don't waste your youth saying, fuck it, I'm young, I'll worry about all that later. And the other one is, save what money you can, spend a portion of those capital savings on investments with good profit margins. So we'll jump right into the first piece of advice. I'm 33 now. When I was 18, I think the most popular common thought for me and the people that I associated with or hung around was we always gonna have time to do what we need to do or do what we want to do. We're gonna be successful one day, and that wasn't the case. I mean, the one thing, forgive me if I'm sniffing a lot, I'm getting over a cold. The one thing that I always thought in being young was, I was gonna figure it out. I didn't quite know what it was I was gonna do. I didn't know how I was gonna get things done. I didn't know how I was gonna be successful. But I knew I was gonna figure it out. By the time you get to a point where it's like, man, I'm a few years in, I'm not quite at that position where I thought I would be or where I want to be, you don't really have things figured out. So in the early days, my earlier youth, I'm still young, I was thinking, man, I'm gonna be established by the time I'm 30. I'm gonna be set by the time I'm 30, but I didn't know what established meant. I didn't know what set meant. I didn't know how to be financially established and secure. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what having assets were beyond having a car, which pretty much was it. And even that's not a real asset. It's not an appreciating asset. I didn't know what having capital savings were. I didn't know what having investments were. I didn't know what networking looked like with people who had resources. I didn't know about what resources were and how to have my own personal resources. And so as I started to get older and I started seeing other people, older people that were kind of in those positions, I was like, yo, what did they do that I didn't do? And then it started to become more and more clear to me because I started associating myself with people who were doing pretty good, who were successful, who were making things happen, who had their money tied up in different investments, different endeavors, who were starting businesses, and who had good networks and great resources to kind of strengthen their foundation and do pretty well. So that leads into my comment that I put under the post, which was, save what money you can, spend a portion of those capital savings on investments with good profit margin. So over the years of being in the Navy, I would estimate that I've probably earned well over probably $1 million. That's only if you count every dollar. If I've saved every dollar that I ever earned, and we count not just my net pay, but we count the incentives that the Navy gives you for living expense, for food expense. We count the other incentives that they give you for being in the military, like C-pay and other things of that nature. I think it'd be safe to say, without any real expenses, especially early in my years, I probably earned over $1 million within 15 years. And that's just a guesstimation, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe more, maybe a little less. I don't know. But I would imagine that I've earned quite a sum of money. And when you look back over that, you think, man, what happened to all that money? What did I do with it? Well, I know where I spent some of it, and I say some of it, very honestly, because you done bought cars, you bought TVs, you bought furniture, you bought clothes. But then you start thinking, where did all the rest of this money go? One of the things I pride myself on earlier in my life that I didn't make a mistake with was credit cards. I didn't get any credit cards, so my credit was never really bad. I amassed my credit by loans, by getting loans for cars, but that was about it. I never got into real estate. I never really got into houses. I didn't understand the business well enough to get into it. I never got into investing. I didn't understand it well enough to get into it. And I really didn't understand finance well enough to get into it. It's just recently, here in the past couple of years, I'm starting to kind of understand a lot of those things, which is why I'm sharing that advice with you guys. Before you hit 30, these are some of the things to think about, you know, where to spend your money. So if I know where a small portion of my money went to, the bigger question is, where did the bigger portion of it go to? And the honest truth is, I can't really tell you. You know, I've spent my money on all types of crazy miscellaneous things that don't bring back no return, things that I'm not gonna, you know, have any value in or be able to get any value out of later on. And like, man, I just don't even know where it's at. A lot of the stuff that I bought, I probably don't even own anymore. So I would say the best piece of advice I could give anybody under 30 to prepare you for when you turn 30 is, you know, budget your money out. You know where, make priorities. Prioritize the things that are essential, that you have to spend money on, like bills, like toiletries, and things like that. If you own a house or if you live in an apartment and you need to furnish it, definitely prioritize those things and base your budgets off of your prioritization. But the other side of it is, don't never forget to pay yourself, and that's where the capital gain is. You need to make sure that you're putting some money into savings, even if you're going into debt somewhere. Even if you got a credit card, even if you got a loan, make sure you're still putting money in a savings account that you're not touching unless you absolutely have to touch it. Because you never know, you might run into an opportunity to make more money that takes money to make in the first place. You know, a lot of times people miss opportunity because they don't have the resources to invest. They don't know where to pull from the resources to invest. And capital is key, but cash is king. Let me say that again. Capital is key, cash is king. So you need capital to be able to go borrow money, but when you really need to do other things, or you need to tie up loose ends, or you need to, it's an opportunity where somebody needs some ready asset cash now, you need to have that cash readily available. And if you don't have it saved up, then you miss that opportunity. So save your capital, you know, whatever bills you have, whatever expenses you have, base your budget around those priorities, and then take from that and then save some of the rest of that money and build your capital. If you have any extra money, or you can even pull out of your capital once you get to a position where your capital savings are in a comfortable place, you can pull from those capital savings and invest in other places like the stock market, or if your friend has a business, or you know somebody that's in a real estate investment group and they need maybe $3,000 or $4,000 over here, and they promise they'll give you 4% or whatever the return is on that money in interest plus the principal that you loaned out. I mean, credit is key, cash is king, and we gotta know that. So going back, I want to recap real quick. We're gonna keep this brief. The number one piece of advice that we got earlier, I'm gonna repeat this. So I'm gonna make sure I get this verbatim, because it's not coming from me, it's coming from somebody else. I don't know what happened here. Don't waste your youth saying, fuck it, I'm young, I'll worry about it all later. Later might never come, and by the time later does come, you look up and say, where did the time go? Okay? So don't waste your youth, you know what I'm saying, not taking advantage of things that are important. And if you don't know what's important, you know, find somebody that's of age, somebody that's in their 30s or older, that's doing pretty well, and you can tell who's doing well in life. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by the cars they drive. You can tell by the clothes they wear. You can even tell by the way they carry themselves and by the way they hold conversations with you. You know, the things they talk about. Find those people and figure out what you need to do. What needs to be most important to you early in life. You know what I'm saying? Prioritize. Keep going back to the priority thing. And the piece of advice that I gave under this comment is, save what money you can, spend a portion of those capital savings on investments with good profit margins. So I'm not going to waste you guys' time. If this was helpful, if you care anything about what I shared with you guys today, taking and passing along. If not, fuck it, I guess. But y'all have a blessing. Iron game for life, iron game for out. Iron game for life. Iron Gang guy. Yeah, Iron Gang for life, Iron Gang guy. I want to do some more fitness videos eventually. We're gonna do those. Bye.